everyone. Welcome to No MAAM, the podcast where we talk shit and throw a little bit of shade at everything and everyone. We'll have you saying no ma'am in no time. I'm your host, Willy Will, and this is my co-host.
Jhoany. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
Also, well, Jhoany, we're back for another episode of No MAAM. Now,
Coyote.
RuPaul, I know, right? RuPaul's Drag Race down Global All Stars, it is over, which
Thank
means
God.
it is, oh my God, that's shady, which means that it is time for another Drag Race series. This time, we're going all the way to Australia with Drag Race Down Under. Previously, it was called RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, but we'll get into why the name changed. But for right now, we're just going to go over our first impressions, like about the Meet the Queens episode, and then we can recap episode one.
Perfect. Girl, wait, how many seasons are airing right now? Like currently, like simultaneously? Because it's a
There
lot.
is, yes, there is Drag Race Down Under,
Mm-hmm.
Drag Race Thailand,
España
Drag Race España, and
and
Drag
UK.
Race UK.
That is
Yes.
insane. 4
So
seasons of Drag Race.
there's 4 seasons of Drag Race happening all
5
at one
New York
time.
girls.
Yes. And then remember, it's about to be 6. Oh, but it's about to be, wait, it's 4 or 5? 5 series, right? We said 4? I can't do something math in my head right now.
It's 4 right now.
Yes, so it's about to be 5 with Canada's Drag Race is coming at the end, like almost at the end of November.
I think one of them will be done by then. No, I think España will be done by then, maybe.
Probably. I mean, España is like it's almost finished, but we're running to that like edge of like the cusp of having multiple Drag Race seasons all together. So for us, it's gonna be we're gonna have a jam-packed agenda because we're gonna be
Girl.
recapping Down Under, but we're also gonna be recapping Canada's Drag Race. We we in
We
the
we booked and busy, girl.
we booked and busy. We like a real like a full-fledged podcast right now. Like when
Yes.
it comes. So it's episode after episode. Listen, the girls want to know ma'am and they got no ma'am. So
Yes, ma'am.
yes, yes, it's like let me tell you, when Trinity said that on one of our posts, she was like, yes, ma'am. When I tell you I fell out, like I was like, yes, because I was like, that's the whole point. Yes. So she said yes, ma'am. So shout out to Trinity the Tuck. We love you. You're amazing.
We love you, Trinity. We live.
Yes, we live for you and Chantel, always supporting us. I think it's
Yes.
amazing. So shout out to y'all. But let's get into this Meet the Queens episode. So I have some thoughts, right? There were some queens
hmm
where I was super excited about as a first impression, and I was like, wow, like these are some amazing queens. And then some where I was like, like they didn't really give me like an amazing first impression right off the bat. But hopefully, when the season goes on, that my impression will change.
I don't know if it was necessarily the way the Meet the Queens was edited, but none of the queens necessarily like wowed me.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because I'm kind of used to the American queens and them being so loud and huge personalities, which is not what the Down Under queens are, or if it was the way it was edited. There was definitely queens I liked, but none of them were like, oh my God, that's the winner right there.
Right.
To me,
I
at
mean,
least, from the Meet the Queens specifically.
right. No, I agree with you on how the Meet the Queens was like edited. It just seemed a little rushed, but that's just like my
hmm
opinion. It just felt a little rushed. I didn't really get like the true essence and the personality of some of the queens. But the
Yes.
ones that I did gravitate towards, I thought gave me some personality and I was super excited.
Same, same. I mean, we can go into who we kind of gravitated towards, but I don't think you'll be surprised with the queens that I liked.
Really?
But
All right.
yeah,
So
no,
go
because I
first
think
then.
that
Who
yeah,
was some of the ones you liked?
Lazy Susan.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I fucking love Lazy Susan. Like Lazy Susan is fucking
Bitch, first of all,
amazing.
the name is
Like
everything. But then her style is so good. I love these like cookie queens. That is very me. So she was definitely my favorite and probably my standout from the whole cast. I also really liked Carna Ford. Love that name. One thing I do love about these Down Under queens is that you have to say their names in their accent to
right,
understand the
right.
meaning behind them. Because if
Because
you
it
say
took
it
me a
in an
while. Because
American
Carna
accent,
Ford, I was like, Carna
yeah,
Ford, and then I was like, oh, can't afford. I was like,
yeah.
oh yes, such a and maybe my second favorite drag queen name after a mandatory meeting. Just
Really?
FYI. Yes.
Not release the slaves?
No, Release the Slaves now comes in third because Carna Ford is
Oh,
like can't afford. Like, you can't afford?
Yeah,
I think that's great.
it is. No, it is. And I love how her name comes into play in the actual show,
Right.
which we can discuss after. Um,
Um, who
but
else?
then the Max. So that is Isis's daughter without a doubt. Like that, like the bitch just copied the mug and like stamped it right on. Like that bitch gave birth to her.
I was
Like
fucking living for Max Drag Queen.
As
Like,
soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, that is Isis's daughter right there.
right, right.
Yeah.
I like she had Max Drag Queen had my favorite, no, my second favorite Meet the Queens look. Like I
Mm,
thought like it was like quilted, like patched together. Obviously, Lazy Susan had my first like favorite look. Lazy Susan, I'm like a Lazy Susan stan, like hands
I'm
down,
living for
love
lazy
her.
Susan.
Second was Max, so I'm with you, Max Drag Queen. Like Isis literally said, "Ha chew" and like spit her out. Um, that is her daughter. Like there is no denying that. And then my other standout was Mandy Moves.
Love Mandy moves.
Like
Girl, you know I love these cookie queens or like these out there like campy queens and these seamstresses. I was living for Mandy.
yes. I also liked Freya Armani, not because she's from the United States, and obviously we're a little biased because duh, right? And she's from Philly, but she
That
gives me Olivia Lux vibes.
I don't know about that. I did like her. Not necessarily giving me Olivia Lux vibes.
Like when she first came on season 13, I thought, I honestly thought like her Meet the Queens was giving me Olivia Lux vibes.
Okay, I guess.
Like the
Um,
aesthetic.
she's a, she's a Filipino queen too, though. No,
Who, Freya?
yeah, no,
I don't think
no. That
so.
was a different. No, my bad.
That
I'm
was
getting
Carnivore.
confused.
She's the
That
Filipino
was
queen.
Carnivore. I'm so sorry,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Ooh, sorry, queens.
Another one that stood out to me in a really good way is Nikita Iman. I I love Nikita.
So I love her, but I think for different reasons than you do. Um,
Okay.
because from the Meet the Queens, I kind of got Gia Gunn vibes. Like I don't like messy queens, I don't like hairy queens, I don't like butch queens, I don't like comedy. It was given very Gia to me.
Okay.
Um, and I love a messy queen that is not afraid to get into
Remember,
fights.
yes, Nikita is messy because she comes from ballroom, and she was giving
Yeah.
me like ballroom down. First of all, Nikita came with the Meet the Queens with an iconic line was your white gaze favorite, brown girl. That everything, hands down, the best thing. Mic drop, love her.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut about it.
Like, and she had the audacity to say your like white gaze favorite,
No, see,
brown girl.
I love that line.
Like the audacity. That is
I
everything.
know.
Shout out to Nikita
Yeah.
because that was cute.
She got nerve. She got some nerve.
Yes,
And I'm excited to see if that translates into the season and she lets the girls have it. And gets into some
right.
like fights with
I
them
mean,
because that's what I
spoiler
want.
for the
That's what I
first
need.
episode. For the first episode, she was letting the girls have it though. Like
She she was, but they were kind of ripping her apart.
we're gonna get
It
into
was,
that.
yeah,
Um who like I thought didn't really showcase too much for me and I wanted a little bit more was Olivia Dreams. I felt that she was really nervous.
yeah, I can see that. I like her name. It's a cute name. Another one that you kind of have to say it in the Australian accent to like get it.
Yeah.
Um, She definitely did not stand out to me. I don't remember her look at all. I
Yeah.
don't remember
I
what
mean,
she
mind you,
said.
right? Like we have to give it up for representation. She's the first queen from Wellington, right? I think
Yes,
that's also good. She's the first queen representing like her tribe and her people, and I
hmm
think that's amazing because representation matters. Like with that
absolutely.
aside, I thought she had an amazing story, but at the same time, I just didn't get like who her personality was.
I agree. Another one that didn't really stand out to me. Hmm? Actually, I'm gonna let you go because I forgot her name.
I would have to say Lucinda Innocence.
That one, that one,
Yes.
that one. That's a really tall one, right?
That's the really tall one. Like no
Yes.
shade. Like the first thing I wrote down in my notes was Filler Queen.
Same,
Like I feel really
same.
bad, but that's what I got
Um,
from the Meet the Queens was like filler.
Yeah, and honestly, the episode didn't do much to change that necessarily. I'm sure she is great.
Right.
There's aspects of her that I loved.
Right.
I love the way she's so mysterious, at least when she speaks, and she's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good
Uh,
first impression. I have to give it to her. That was good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and I wonder how tall the bitch is, because they didn't say, did they? They just said she's
No,
really tall.
they just said she's really tall.
Yeah.
Um, but you know who also like I like thought did a really great Meet the Queens? Vibe.
Oh my God, how did I forget Vibe? I loved Vibe. So first
Yeah,
of all, Coco Jumbo's sister.
I
One of
know.
my favorite lip syncs of all time is Coco Jumbo and Electra in Down Under Season 1.
I know.
Um,
Yes.
and I loved her Meet the Queens. We can get into the episode after, but I
Okay.
loved her Meet the Queens. How did I forget Vibe? Oh
I
my
don't know.
God,
I
I
just
feel so
felt
bad.
like I thought Vibe was very polished, right? I loved her look in the Meet the
Yes.
Queens. I just love a polished queen. Like I'm just like I just like when this everything is just put together. It's a well put together concept. Like I love a queen who knows who they are, and it just like just no ifs ands or buts about it. Like I love that.
Hmm.
I love Vibe has a hint of cockiness and a hint of divaness, and I think that's just amazing.
Yes, and I think you definitely get to see that in the episode,
Right,
but it never comes off across as like overly cocky like some other queens do sometimes.
right.
I think it was definitely very warranted.
Yes. And then last but not least, we had Brenda Breast. Like I love the name. I think the name is so cute.
She was cute.
Yeah, I think
Not my
the mug
favorite. Not
was
my favorite. It
good.
was she was yeah.
Very
Yeah.
campy. She was on The Voice. I think The Voice Australia. I forget what season, but she was on The Voice.
Hmm.
Um, and so obviously she's been on reality TV before, so she's not new to like the reality TV like situation.
Hmm.
I just think it's funny, like, and we'll get into the episode a little bit, but I just think it's funny how some of the girls knew who she was, and others had no idea who she was.
I was on the boat of I have no idea who she is.
Right.
But she was cute. She was cute.
Okay. All right. Well, shall we get into the season?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the first one to enter the workroom is our favorite, Lazy Susan. And let me
Hmm.
tell you, I love a monochromatic look.
I love this outfit.
Like, I live for a monochromatic look if it's done right. Lazy Susan came in with all the shades of yellow, and I said yes.
Okay, I thought you were about to drag her because I was expecting a butt. I was like, girl, you better not because this is a good
No,
look.
like,
Okay.
I just said yes. I literally wrote down yes with so many S's. I was like, Lazy Susan, this is genius.
Yes, I love the wig, love the hair, love the cape. Everything was so good.
Everything. Like, and I'm a sucker for a pantsuit. Like, I live for a pantsuit
Me
and
too.
some nice pumps. I was just like, this is amazing. And then she
It was
said
a
this
really
could have been an email. When she said that, I said, oh my gosh. I said, why is she speaking to me? Like,
that is very you. That is
this could,
very you.
this could have been an email. When she said that, died. I was like, thank you, Lazy Susan, because that is what we need. And for the girls who get it, they get it. And for those who don't,
Hmm.
you don't. But
Yeah,
it could have been an email. Iconic. Um, the next queen to come in the workroom is Vibe. I thought the look was great.
I like vibe. Um, it was a cute look. Yes. Again, her personality really shone through. I really liked her. Um,
Yes. And you
she's
can
one of
tell
my
that she's a
favorites so
Sydney,
far.
like you can tell she's from Sydney. Like you can tell she's
Hmm.
a Sydney queen. She's very polished, right? You can tell that she's like booked and busy.
Yes.
The wig was great, the turban was good, like everything just was right, right? It just felt right. It also
Hmm.
felt grand enough for an entrance, but not over the top.
Yes, I agree.
And then we had Nikita Iman. I didn't like the entrance look. Like no shade, love her. But if this was ballroom, she would get her tens. They will give her
I
tens if
don't.
it was
I
ballroom.
don't. Hmm. If it was like amateur ball, maybe.
Oh my gosh. No, she was
Uh,
giving like drag's face. She was giving like sex appeal, sex siren. Like she was giving elements of ballroom that I think this look would have passed, right? She would have got her tens. But I think for an entrance look to like drag race down under, right?
Absolutely
It
not.
wasn't giving that.
No, it wasn't. I thought the hair was flat. I didn't like the outfit. It was too basic, too simple. girl, this is your moment to let the world know who you are,
This is your
and this is what
moment.
you're showing
Have
them.
it.
Have it.
Like, in the
Yeah,
words of
and
Jasmine Kennedy.
this is what you pull out. No, thank you. Oh,
Right.
ma'am.
But she did have some epic like one-liners. She was like, the
Oh,
girls are
yes.
gatekeeping.
The
It
girls
was
are
so
gatekeeping
good.
was funny, but I was kind of on the side. Who was it? Vibe. I'm already loving this clash between her and Vibe, like from the start. It's kind of giving like Mistress and Lucy all over again, and I'm
Oh my
living
God,
for it.
yeah. Okay. I can see
Um,
that. Yes.
yeah, I love the drama.
You do love the drama. You love, and you also
Yeah.
love a messy queen, which I'm surprised you don't like Nikita, like in that way, because Nikita's messy.
So here's the thing. As the episode went on, and I'm probably like probably should hold on to this, but I'm not. Like I feel like the girls kind of ate her, and like that personality I thought she was gonna have, or like I don't know, it just wasn't there. I don't think she has the chops to back up her what she says. I may be wrong. This is just the first episode. Maybe she'll
Right.
saw something completely different as the
Yes.
season goes on.
Right.
But for somebody who came on so strongly and had so many things to say, I don't really think she had what like the stuff to
Okay.
back it up.
Yeah, but I think again, right, like I can see that point. And I think for me, why I enjoyed it so much was because she was giving so much of ballroom, right? Like she reminds me of like the Kiki scene, right? The house of Iman and the Kiki scene is a popular house in the Kiki scene. And so like she was giving very much like ballroom like personality. Now
Hmm.
does that tend to translate to drag race? Not so much, right? We remember when Mariah first did it, right? She had some struggle translating that into like a drag race personality. So I think Nikita may have some trouble like translating her ballroom personality into Drag Race. But again, I'm really excited to see what she'll bring. But I can see why you would think that. Like, yeah.
Hmm. Again, no
Um,
shade. I think
right,
maybe like she might make me eat my words up and like
right.
win the season. Because we never
True.
know.
Because it's only been
Um,
episode one, so yes.
exactly. It's just the
Um,
episode.
the next queen to go into the workroom was Mandy Moves. How do you
Yes.
like the look?
I in my head I have always said if I were ever to do Drag Race, I would come in a pig look. So the fact that this bitch did it, I was living. I was living with her like three little pigs like on the boobs and then the head.
Yes. I got the
Um,
reference right away because maybe I'm just like a freaky person, and I was like, wait, mm, it's just what does this say about me? Because it was like kinky, and it was like I don't know why. The first thing I thought was nasty pig, and in my head I was like maybe I should not. Mm. And then she was like,
I'm
"Oh,
not.
I'm a pig and I'm a kink," and I was like, "Oh, Mandy,
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I loved it because this is what I always like. I imagine myself, in my fantasy world, living my French vanilla fantasy, in something like this. So I was living for it.
I had, you know what I loved is that she threw shade at Beverly Kills, and she was like, "I do not have to prove that I'm better than Beverly. I just have to win one challenge." When she said that, I was like, the shade on
I,
the first
I'm,
episode.
I'm living for the shade in the first episode because
Yes.
it was coming left and right.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then obviously our girl came in next, Max Drag Queen. I loved her, but I thought the dress was wearing her.
I agree. I thought it was a little underwhelming. I loved the energy she came in with. Um, Gorgeous face, love the hair, but I
Listen,
agree with you with the
Isis
dress.
did an amazing job with like ensuring that her drag daughter looked amazing. I just thought the dress
Hmm.
was wearing her. Right? Like I expected more, but I get it, right? Like she's a dancing queen. She's a dancing queen of Melbourne. So I understand. I love Max. Like regardless of what she does, like she was like, you know where I got my drag name from? Well, my real name is Max. And I
I
just
just
added
added drag
drag
queen.
queen. And I was like,
Love
that is
that.
so cunty. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I was like, she's going places. That
Hmm.
one.
No, I really
Then
like her. Yeah.
yes. The next, it's so surprising how literally this is the first time we've agreed on like the same queens right off the bat.
I think I think so, which is weird because I feel like we usually like completely opposite queens.
Yes. And the fact that we've like literally like the same ones, like I wonder if this is going to keep up for their entire season.
Yeah. And I
We
wonder if
shall
those are
see.
the queens that are gonna make it far.
I
or they're
know.
gonna be all the first out there.
Normally we've seen numerous episodes of Drag Race. So I think we have a really good eye for detail on like who does what. Like,
Hmm.
but I'm just really surprised that we actually agreed on the drag queens that we like.
Same,
That's rare. So you guys
same.
seen it first. Jhoany and I, we agreed on some drag queens, and that hardly ever happens.
It, yeah. I mean, you
Um,
guys can go back to episode 1 and see how we were just
right,
disagreeing
because
left and
our
right.
lists were totally different.
Hmm.
Um, well, so Freya Armani, she's the next one to come in. Um, I don't know, like I love that she one, it was another like monochromatic look, loved that. I thought the best part of her look was the fact that she threw her hat on the floor and left it there.
It was cute. It was cute. Look, I think it was nothing like crazy special. It was cute. It was well done. I agree with you about the hat. Like, dropped it, left it there, walked away.
Right. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a cute move. I love that. It was like, oh, here's a hat. But then I thought it was really shady that the cameraman panned to the hat on the floor. I thought that was even better. Like, yes, for the cameraman. Whoever did that edit, you need a raise. Um, the next queen to come into the workroom is Olivia Dreams. The entrance look was cute, but her face screamed, I'm so scared.
I completely agree. She looked so nervous. She looked like a fish out of water. Um, Poor girl. I'm sure
Yes.
it's nerve-wracking going in there. I completely understand why she looked like that, but I
Yeah.
feel bad. I
Right.
feel bad, and I
Then
hope
we get
I hope she's able to get out of that for the rest of the season, and it doesn't translate for the full season and hold her back.
right. But then we get to see that she did say that she's still fairly new to drag, right? And like
Hmm.
performing and stuff. So that kind of makes sense as to why her face looked like, oh my God, help me. Um,
But girl, just fake it till you make it.
exactly. We tell you that all the time. So the next one after Olivia to come into the workroom is Brenda Brest. I thought, right, from Melbourne, which is so funny because Max is obviously the dancing queen of Melbourne and had no idea who Brenda was.
I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was hilarious.
Like,
That was
she
so
was
funny.
like, oh, I know you. And Max was like, have no idea who you are.
Was Who was the one that told Nikita, "Oh, I know you, but not from drag"?
Oh, that's the
Who
next
said
one who
that?
came in the workroom. That was
Okay,
Carna
I thought that
Ford.
was hilarious. I thought that
Yes.
was hilarious.
And then the other queens was like, as everyone else. Like, it's just true. And I thought that was shade. Like these girls are quick with the shade this season. And I was like, yes. Like,
They were literally throwing shade left and right, and I love it. I love it.
yes. Yes. So Carna Ford, she's the next one to come in the workroom. The mug was sitting, but I thought the look was very pedestrian.
The outfit was horrible. That was disgusting. I'm
It was
sorry.
giving no man.
Love you,
And I
Carnivore,
like
but like
it was a
it
no
was just
man.
very ill-fitting. It made her look very boxy, which I'm sure she's not. It was just I don't choices were made,
Right. But she gets points because Max knew who she was, and that means something.
and Max was scared of her.
So that means something. So
Yes,
apparently, Carter Ford is the dancing diva of Sydney. And so Max was like, I know her, so that means something. And I was like,
yes,
this is everything. You better talk your shit, Max. Yes.
yes. Yeah,
Um,
I did love Carnivore. I just did not pick that up.
right. And then last but not least, we have Lucina Innocence. And honestly, I was really shocked, right? Because her Meet the Queens look and then her coming into the workroom, totally different queen. Like
Hmm.
everything was different. And I actually liked the dark look. Like I enjoyed it.
I liked it. It was cute. I don't understand why they necessarily gave her the edit as she walked in. I get it. She's tall. As she started walking in, I'm like, oh, is it like a comeback queen? Like, is secret queen? Like, is it the
Yeah.
extra special guest judge? I didn't quite necessarily understand why they had to give her that specific edit.
Yeah.
I did like the look. Again, that liked her kind of mysterious, demure demeanor. And the way she was answering questions, like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
4'2". I don't know what I'm
Yes.
good at. Whatever. I like that.
Honestly,
Um,
like in the beginning, I liked it. Like I thought the first, like, maybe
I
I thought
like
that was
I
cute.
I liked it up until the runway.
Okay. To me, I thought it just got boring really quickly. Like, okay, we get it. Like at first it was
See,
funny, but then it just like to me, I just felt like no after that.
so I liked it in terms of like when she was like speaking, but then when it translated to the runway, I was like, "Ooh, girl."
Yeah, maybe she
But
can't do. Yeah.
we'll get into it. Yeah.
Okay. So next, right, Rue comes on the scene on the big screen, and she lets the queens know that for the first time ever, Down Under queens will be judging and mentoring other Down Under queens.
I love
And
that, and I
so,
wish they would do that for every franchise and every
yes.
season.
So apparently, like Isis Avis Loren, Keita Means, Spaking Jackson, and then many others. Obviously, we know Queen Kong is going to be one of them because we've seen it in the trailer, but she didn't specify on this episode. So what do you think?
I love that. I love that because Ruth stepped down and Michelle took over, that she's now opening that that position up for other down under queens. I think that is great representation. As much as I love it though, I do think this should have been given to Courtney. But that's
Oh,
a story for another day.
yeah.
Um,
You
but
never
yeah, I
know.
love that
Never
they're
say
bringing the
never. You
bigs.
never know. Never
True,
know.
true. But
Um, and then Rue also lets the queens know that there is a new host, and that host is Michelle Visage.
hmm
How do you feel about the new
mm,
host?
I think it should have been a drag queen.
Honestly, I'm not upset. I actually appreciate the fact that Michelle is actually going to be like the one who's hosting it. Like, no shade. I think in terms of like who can step in right away and host it and not lose any momentum, not feel like out of the place, like out of place or anything.
hmm
I think Michelle does an amazing job.
I guess I just this is the first. I mean, this is the first season where no, kind of depends on what you define as drag queen. Because some of the hosts dressed in drag for the show, but weren't necessarily drag queens.
Right.
So maybe my critiques aren't valid in that sense. Because
Okay.
Michelle, I guess you could say, does kind of do drag with all the
I
makeup she
mean,
wears.
yeah, she is a drag queen. She is.
Yeah.
And she's
Okay.
part of the
Fair.
ballroom scene, right? And she was a club kid. So I think she has a vast like knowledge of drag and just
I,
like our culture. What I love about her is that she appreciates the art form of drag.
yes, but does she know down like Australian culture or like New Zealand culture enough to host that particular franchise
I mean,
is another
obviously she does
concern.
because they gave it to her. So they have
And
they
I
must
mean, they
have
haven't
faith
always
in
made the
her
best
that
choices.
true, but I think honestly, I think Michelle would probably do a really great job on this. I mean, but then again, at the end of the day, right? She's bringing in the other like down under queens to help, like mentor and
Yeah,
stuff.
and I
So I
think that
think
is
that's
going to
also
help
really great.
significantly. Yeah, yeah.
So some of the
If
references, even if she may not get it, maybe some of the queens will.
true, and if that was her choice, kudos to her.
Yeah. So we find out that the last queen standing gets a year supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills products and a cash prize of $50,000. Did the other seasons, did they have cash prizes on Down Under?
hmm
Okay, cool. I
No,
thought it was going to be
I
like
think
UK
this
and
might
then
be
oh my gosh.
no. I think this might be the most they've had.
Okay.
I think before it was like 30,
But I feel like it's significant because the Queens was like, oh my God, because game is on. So like I felt like when they said that maybe
but
they
they
probably
said
didn't have a cash prize, but $50,000
uh,
might seem a
I think
lot
they just
for
upped
them.
the amount. Maybe
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I remember it being like 30.
All right. And so then, right, we get to the maxi challenge. So the maxi challenge is all about doubling down, right? So first category, they have to serve two looks, right? First
hmm
category, double dressing. So the 2-in-1 like reveal, but the reveals have to be drastically different. I think that was the prompt, right? For them to be different and different from the first look. Some of the queens got the memo and the other ones didn't.
hmm
We'll get into the
I,
specifics in a
I
little bit.
I wonder if they gave them that prompt when they were telling them to prepare, or if they just told them two in ones.
Maybe 2-in-1 because some of the queens was their two and
It was
ones was questionable.
1.5 in one, is what it
Yes.
was.
And then the second category is double dipping.
I
Essentially is who wore it best. So two colors, one queen like one color, two queens. Literally almost got that wrong in my head. It's like I was like two colors, one queen. Where the other queen like disappeared to, have no idea.
It's giving
But
Raven, two
it
colors,
is
one
giving
queen.
yes, it's giving Raven. But yes, one color, two queens. So who wore it best? I thought that was a really great idea to do. Put them against each other, right, and have them compete with one color. I thought that was amazing.
I love these types of challenges where they set them up like that to like literally be critiqued. There a couple seasons have done it so far. I
Yes.
know Canada made them do an outfit with the same material, which
Yep.
I thought was
UK
so
did
good.
it. That was one of my favorite challenges, right? That was the one that Lauren Cheney won.
Hmm.
With like she had that gold outfit, which is literally one of my favorite like Lauren Cheney looks.
Hmm.
I thought that was great. But some of them
Yeah,
do it, and I think it's great.
I love these types of challenges where they're like, here, you guys get either the same color, same prompt, or same materials, and let's see how you interpret it. And we get to see just how vastly different two people's
Right.
drags can be.
It's
So
just
I
true.
love these types of challenges.
Yes. And so the judges for this obviously have Reese, right? Michelle. They're the normal judges. But then we got Isis Avis Loren. I think she's like the new Michelle, which I
Hmm.
think is cute because she just won last season, right? Season three. I think that's great. She's fresh. She's fresh on the brain. Like people know who she is. I think it's gonna be really like interesting to see how she judges her drag daughter. Can't wait to see how that turns out.
I
And
think that
then
I think that position becomes her. Like I thought she looked great up there. I
yeah.
thought like she looked so natural.
Mhm.
So I'm glad to see how she does throughout. I'm excited to see how she does throughout the season.
Yes. And then the extra special judge for the first episode of Down Under is none other than Sasha Colby,
Your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen.
literally. And that look,
Immaculate.
like fucking Sasha Colby. Like
I
she would
know.
be the one to give us avant-garde, make it fashion, make it weird. She was giving me Jennifer Lopez from The Cell. And mind you, that is literally one of my favorite Jennifer Lopez movies because it is such a scary, odd movie. But that head thing with like the makeup on the top, everything about this
Oh,
Sasha Colby look was amazing.
amazing. I don't get the J Lo reference because the only J Lo movie I've ever seen is Selena.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it's Mexican.
No, you have to watch
Um,
The Cell. The Cell, especially like if you like horror movies, is
I
very like a
do.
psychological thriller. And there's one look in particular like Jennifer Lopez likes wearing. I think it's like a red look or something, but it's very avant-garde and it reminds me of Sasha Colby's like look. Obviously they're totally different looks, but you will
Mhm.
probably see the inspiration like if you watch The
Okay.
Cell. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
it's a
mean,
really great look.
I'm not a big psychological thriller person. I'm more of a like boo, like jump scare kind of
Oh,
horror person,
yeah.
but maybe. And
Yes. No,
yeah.
but I mean, The Cell is such a great movie. It's underrated,
Okay.
actually, but it's not one of Jennifer
I,
Lopez's most like famous
I,
movies, but it's very underrated. So I suggest you watch it.
J-Lo and underrated are two words I never thought I'd hear in the same sentence.
Yes. Shade. That's Joanna, you're really shady. You've been really shady these couple of days. I love this for you. Um, but while Michelle is talking, Nikita's pearls fall.
So messy. I lived for it, but at the same time, like, girl, get it together.
Yes. And then
I
while
love
the
how the girls were
girls
just like
they were
the
like,
girls.
seriously, like right
Yeah,
away. They was already shading her, but now they're both looking at like all the looking at her like, really, bitch? Like
messy.
day one.
Get it together.
Um, Showgirls. I love that Michelle was like, showgirls. I thought that was cute. Um, and then the queens are undressing, right? They're untucking. And Nikita is the fucking trade of the season.
My God, yes. Um, Nikita, I'm sorry for all the things I said about you. You're the best
I
queen
guess you
ever.
agree that Nikita is the trade of the season.
She is. She definitely is.
Look at
Nikita,
you. You
I'm
got a
rooting for you to
Samoan.
win.
You got a you like, I think somebody
Girl, I love
has
me an
a
island
crush
boy.
on Nikita.
Girl, I love me an island boy. When I went to Hawaii, I was just staring at those mentions like, oh my God, marry me.
Yes. Nikita is I just like that Nikita has a deep ass voice. Super cunty, but just has a deep ass voice. I love it.
Hmm.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah. Um, did
Such
any
a
of the queens
transformation.
surprise you with their besides Nikita, did any of the other queens surprise you with their transformation?
Vibe. That's a man.
Bitch.
Like, no shade. Love
That's a
you
man,
vibe.
Maury.
Love you vibe, but that's a man. Like That's a transformation. You talk about
Yeah.
drag as a transformation vibe. That's a transformation. I said, oh shit.
Yeah, that was a big transformation,
I
actually.
said,
Um,
that's not the same person. No, no, no. Where that man come from? That's not the same person.
um,
No, but then Lazy Susan taking off her makeup, like I was gagging.
that okay, but that's what I take off my makeup.
Like that's a lot of water. Like I was Max. Like
That was
Mac
not
was me.
water.
Like what
That
was
was not
that?
water. That was like makeup remover. That was
Oh
not
my
water,
god.
girl.
Oh
That's
my
what happens when you
gosh.
put a lot of makeup remover. It literally starts to dissolve the makeup and it starts to look like all wet and stuff.
I love Lazy
Um,
Susan, but I was gagging because I was like, oh my God, I just couldn't. Like I
oh
was
no,
literally the same way. Like Max, me and Max were the same person at that moment.
that's how I take my makeup off and I hate it because it feels gross. It feels about as gross as you think it looks.
Okay, because it was looking real gross. I was like dry heaving. And I don't gag. And I was just like, this is not okay. Like this doesn't feel right. Like this is not okay. And then so obviously the girls are still like taking off their makeup and stuff. And then Maddie asks Nikita what she thought of the other queen's entrance looks. And Nikita, being her shady self,
She's like,
says,
how am I gonna tell her when that if
no, that was a
that
different
she's the one?
person.
No, it was Nikita. No, wait, no,
No,
that was oh, right. Same question, but that was to
right.
Miss Giant.
Yes. Um,
Oops,
but
oops.
Nikita, with her normal, like her shady self, was like
Goes
the girls like I was underwhelmed. Some of them was like hodgepodge, and so Maddie is looking at the bitch like, bitch, your costume fell apart.
literally, literally.
Like,
I thought that was hilarious. They were like,
like
"Girl, you should not be
what?
speaking."
Like I know you're not talking about a costume not being good, on inches look not being up to par, but your pearls fell down. Like what?
I think she did. Did she? I no, she did not have the worst entrance look. One of the worst. So she should not be speaking.
Mm, yeah, but you're talking about when Max and Carna Ford was having a conversation and asked Lucina who she thought
Yes,
like
I I
was the one. Yeah.
I feel so bad that I cannot remember Lucina's name for the life of me. I'm sorry, girl. By the end of the season, I will get it, or by the end of next episode, honestly. But there's just a
Who
lot of
knows?
y'all to
Maybe
keep up
not.
with.
Maybe you never know. No shade, but it may be given no man, but you may not, right? It may be given no man, but you may not even know who she is. But for the first Meet the Queens and this first episode, didn't really like, didn't really get too much with that.
Mm-mm.
So,
Yeah.
and then obviously, right? So going back to the second challenge or the second part of the first challenge with the two queens in one color, we find out that like Maddie and Lucida both have the color blue, and
hmm
that Vibe and Nikita, what a coincidence, both have the color orange.
That was the face crack. The face crack of
I
like,
said,
of
"Ooh, this is good."
yes,
It was
yes,
literally, I can't wait to see how this turns out.
yeah. The drag gods blessed us with that.
The drama
Um,
right off the bat, I was like,
yes,
"Yes,
and yeah, and then Nikita being like, not me being like set up with Vibe.
right."
Yeah,
And Vibe was
that
like, "Well,
okay.
the drag I'm gonna do is the drag I normally do, and the drag that she's gonna do is the drag that she's trying to do." And I thought that was so good.
Or when she was, or when Nikita was describing her outfit, and she's like, "So it's giving swimsuit," and I just died. I was like, "Ooh!" Or would she say swimsuit or bodysuit? I don't remember what she said. It was one of those two,
Swimsuit.
and
She
I was
said
like, "Oh,"
swimsuit. Yeah,
but yeah, but I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, the way she described it, it is giving
yes.
very that.
Okay, so now let's get into the challenge. I have
hmm
thoughts on the challenge, on some of these looks.
hmm I
Okay,
I do too.
so the first one down the runway is Mandy Moves. I thought she did a good job. I thought she understood the prompt because there were two
Yeah.
dramatically different looks. But I
hmm
did agree with Sacha when in terms of the fit. I
Yeah.
thought the
Right
second
here.
look was like
Yeah.
right here. Yes. I thought if she cinched it a little bit, I thought it would have been amazing. And it would have been like an iconic like two in one that definitely is different from each other.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I appreciated that there were two very different looks. I appreciated that it was one garment that was
Right.
just flipped inside out because I feel like a lot of these queens feel like taking off a jacket is a reveal, and it's not. Um,
True.
but I appreciate that she literally had a completed look, flipped it, and it became a completely different look. Agree
Yes.
again. I do agree with what you said, with what Sasha said about the fitting. But I do also understand how difficult it is to make garments like this
Yeah.
and make them fit properly to your body. So I kind of understand why it didn't fit maybe the
Yeah.
best. But I think she sold it really well.
Yeah, I thought even though the fit wasn't ideal, it still was a good like 2-in-1 reveal, and I think it did like meet the prompt.
Hmm.
Next was Lucina Innocence, and I was confusion. There was no reveal, and I was like, where? What happened?
This is not a reveal.
I was
Mm-mm.
confused. I was like, what
No,
happened?
that was not a reveal. That was lazy. Um,
Yes. Connor Ford was next. I thought the reveal was cute, but what I don't like and what I think is a big no ma'am is that we can see the reveal happening.
yes. Um, when you can see the parts of it, or when you see it after the reveal is done, I hate that.
Yes.
Um,
And I think that's the whole point of a reveal is for us to not know, right?
mhm.
There should be an element of surprise, right? And I
Even
think
though
that
we
like,
know it's coming because it's the
right.
prompt, like I don't want to know how it's gonna happen.
Yes. I think one of the best ones who've ever done a reveal on the main stage, I think it was All Star 7, Jada Essence Hall. The fact that it was one garment and she took us through the whole entire seasons.
Yes, yes, and that's what a reveal is.
Yes. And we didn't know that the next look was going to go into the next one and the next one, right? I think that, and it was one piece, right? It literally, she
Mhm.
just kept twirling and taking something. And I just thought that was what a reveal is.
Yes, yes, I agree.
And that's kind of what I was looking for this challenge was like, is somebody going to do that to me? And I think so far right now, Mandy was the only one that did it in that aspect. And I thought that was
Hmm.
cute. And I really appreciated that piece, right?
Hmm.
The next one was Brenda Breast. And I thought it was a good reveal. I think her first introduction to this episode, I think she had a good first introduction.
Yeah, I think it was cute. It was well done. Was it, oh my God, amazing? No, but I think it was really cute.
Yeah. And
I
it
think she
was
understood
good
the
for her
prompt and
brand.
did it well.
Yeah, she's
Yes,
very on
I
brand for
think
who she is.
I think I did get to know her more with this look, because I feel like she kind of faded in the episode for the rest of the episode.
Correct. I agree. Yes. The next one was Freya Armani. And honestly, I thought this would have been a 10 if the execution was better.
Yes. Like the fact that you like it kind of goes back to my point from earlier. Like if you could see
Yep.
the remains of the original outfit, it really takes you out of the illusion. And the fact that you could
Yes.
see like the suit hanging from the back of the dress, I appreciate that it was one garment, but I think she should have hidden that original piece better because it really took
Yes.
you out of the illusion.
Yeah. I mean, it probably was a technical difficulty of the dress, like malfunction piece, or like not actually like making sure like the whole entire thing was good. But was selling it though. She was selling the garment, and I have to give her an E for effort. I thought she did an amazing, but like it was almost there. But the fact that we could see the bit of that suit
And it
just
was
took
like
me
being
out.
dragged.
Yeah, it just like took me out of the fantasy, and I was
Hmm.
so upset, and I was like disappointed for her because I'm sure she felt a little disappointed in that moment too.
Yeah, and you
But
could see the judge's face right away, like, girl,
it was almost
almost,
there. Yes.
almost.
Um,
Yeah,
the next one was Max, like drag queen. I liked the second part of the look better than I liked the first one.
I agree. It was cute. Um, Nothing insanely good, nothing amazing. I
Yeah,
thought it was cute.
I just wanted more dramatics, right? Like I want to maybe like instead of like taking it out, maybe she could have turned or something. But I just want the reveal to be a little bit different. But I like that it was two separate looks. I get it, but I felt it was sort of like a coat she took off. So then it wasn't really like a reveal.
Mhm. I thought it was a cute outfit, but I am with you in the sense, like I said before, uh, I think just taking a jacket off or taking the coat off is kind of easy.
Yep. Speaking of taking a jacket off, Olivia Dreams was next, and that's what she did. She took the jacket off.
Yeah. No, ma'am.
It was a no ma'am. That's all I wrote. I literally put no ma'am. That's what I did. But I also put Michelle is gonna drag you. Literally, I put that on my notes. Like when I was watching it, I said Michelle is gonna drag you. Like, and then the fact that Michelle dragged her, like a jacket is not a reveal, and I was like, I know Michelle. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't see this
yeah,
so many times. I know Michelle. Michelle is gonna be like,
yeah.
this is not a reveal.
Yeah.
Then fucking lazy Susan.
Oh, bitch.
She comes down the runway, and I'm
So,
thinking, when is she gonna do the reveal? Like, what's happening? Like, okay, is she gonna take this thing off? And the bitch turns around, and I said, holy shit.
so unfortunately, this got spoiled for me before I watched the episode because of TikTok. And this bitch made a TikTok with that outfit, uh, with another queen. And like, that was like, that TikTok gagged me because I thought like she was facing forward like the pink. I thought that
Yes,
was her. And then when she flipped and it was really her, I was like, oh. So when she
yes,
came out in this, I was like, oh, wait, it's her. I didn't know who it was when I watched the TikTok. But then when she came out, I was like, oh, wait, that was her.
yes.
Um,
Fucking lazy Susan is a genius. Because I fully
yes.
was like, okay, she came out, and I'm like, okay, so when is she gonna do the reveal? And she's walking, and I'm
And then,
like, when is she gonna do it? And then she turned around, and I said, oh shit.
yes, it was so good. I loved it. I think this was my favorite one.
It was my favorite one. Yes,
Not I think, it definitely was my favorite one by far.
yes.
Um, I think she, second best look of the night.
Okay. I think it's the second best look of the night, but I think that my first best look of the night comes from the same person. So,
Same,
okay.
same actually.
I was like, wait, this is the second best look of the night, but it comes from the
Yeah,
same
no,
person. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Um,
same.
this
But
is
we can
this is
discuss the other look
this
later.
is the
I
first
just
time that
didn't want to get
we
into that just yet.
agree. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited right now.
Yeah.
All right, and then next up is Nikita Iman. I thought the look was cute. I don't think that she could have walked in the first part of the reveal, and then when she took it off, I
Hmm.
thought it was like beautiful. She was able to like to walk in it. Obviously, we always said don't wear a dress or a garment if you can't walk in it.
That you cannot walk in it. Yeah, it was okay.
It was a cute look.
It was, it passed.
Yes.
It was
And
okay.
then we have Vibe, and the rosebud look was a no man for me.
I kind of loved it. No, actually,
No.
I liked the second part. I did not like the original look because it was giving,
How did you
I
like the
made this out of
rosebud?
duct tape.
Like,
I,
Jhoany,
I
that
liked it
makes no
because
sense.
I thought it was funny and campy. I
It
did
wasn't
not
even a
like the
good
original.
rosebud.
It was not. I just thought the idea was funny and campy. But I hated the original like outfit she came in on because it was given like I made this out of duct tape, which there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but at least make it look like it's not fucking duct tape, girl.
Listen, I was very disappointed with Vibe in this 2-in-1 reveal look. I was like, I expected more. Like, you can't come in with that entrance look. You can't give me that amazing Meet the Queens and then give me a dilapidated prolapse. Like, what? That's not okay. Like, what we're not going to do, we're not going to do that. Like, I felt really upset.
I mean, it wasn't the worst of the night.
It wasn't, but it was bad for Vibe because I have high standards
I
for
guess,
Vibe.
yes. I will agree with that part.
Okay. And then we get the showdown, which I think is like the battle of like who were best. Um, so the
This was
first
so
pair
fun.
is Maddie versus Lucina. And I was like, Maddie, hands down, looks amazing.
Yeah, yeah. That was like undeniable. I love that they asked the judges right then and there, like, who wore it best? Oh
Yes.
well, not there. What during the critiques, they asked them
Right.
who wore it
Yes.
best, and I love that
Yes.
all of them answered and that it was unanimous for
Hands down. It was like Maddie.
yeah,
There was no competition. Maddie was like, I'm not even
no,
looking at Lucina. She's
no,
there, but she's not even there. Like, no.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
thought Lucina looked very boxy, very. It just didn't. The silhouette was just not there.
No, and I
I
didn't get
thought
who
had
she
she cinched.
was. Like literally, I've gotten like so many different like so far I've gotten so many different looks that I really don't know who Lucina is as a drag queen. I don't know what her
Hmm.
personality or like what her persona is, and so I'm a little confused. So it takes me out of being invested in her so far in these first like between the Meet the Queens and season one. I mean, in the first episode. So
Yeah, and I think another thing was kind of what I said earlier, where like I liked her mysterious there up until the runway because I thought it would have been maybe like a what's her name? Nymphia Wynn kind of situation where she's like
mm,
mysterious and then she gets on the runway and she like
it's like boom,
completely
bitch, I'm
blows.
here.
Yeah, yeah. That was not the case. It
No,
was like, oh, am I here? Um, like I thought. Maddie ate her up on the runway, just
No
not only
crumbs.
with the outfit, but with like the presentation.
Everything.
Like,
She ate.
yeah,
Maddie ate.
yeah,
Like, that's what
yeah.
we expect, though, from Maddie Moves, though. Um, then we had Karna versus Brenda. And to be honest, this may be controversial opinion, but I liked Karna's look more than I liked Brenda's. To me, I thought Karna had more red and Brenda did not. I thought Brenda
I did.
was more like had more black in her look than red.
So no, no, no. I okay, I see that. I think Brenda's was really good. I think it was very like sugar. I thought it was very cute. Karna's, um,
Oh, from the
girl.
head down. Like,
But you can't just no. But you can't include everything. And that headpiece was a mess.
oh,
It
the
looked like
headpiece
a
was
five
bad.
year old made. It looked like a 5-year-old made out of paper mache.
Like, it was No Ma'am. And then when she said it was
Yeah,
Stranger Things, and I was like, oh, this is definitely No Ma'am.
I got it right away when she came out,
Mm-mm, not
but it
I.
was very poorly executed.
Mm-mm.
Um,
I was confusion. But I thought the mug was sitting, and I thought the bodysuit was cute. I liked it as far as like a monochromatic like red look. I thought it was great. But I just, to me, honestly, I would have given her my point because she
mm-mm.
had red versus me giving it to Brenda.
No, I absolutely agree with the judges.
Oh,
Brenda, hands down.
well, fuck my critique. Uh,
Yeah, fuck it.
next was Freya versus Max, and I honestly liked both. But if I had
Yes,
to pick one, I would have picked Max.
would have picked Freya,
Ooh, look,
but
just like the
but
judges.
but it was this close. Like the thing that sold me for Freya was just how long that train was.
Okay,
If she had had a shorter train, I probably would have picked Max. But you know, I love me a long train,
yes.
so that's kind of why I lean more towards Freya. But I thought both looks were amazing. They both looked really good. The wigs were amazing, like perfectly styled.
Hmm.
Um, I think they did the best out of the night.
They did. As far as like a pair, yes,
Yeah,
they had the
yeah,
best pairing. They honestly did that.
yeah.
I just liked Max because I felt like it was a more realized concept. I thought Freya's was almost there for me, but I thought Max had a more like realized concept.
I did really like Max's choice of fabric.
Yeah,
It was very like expensive, so I
yes.
really liked it.
And then we had Olivia versus Lazy Susan, and I'm obsessed with Lazy Susan.
Lazy, yes. Oh my
Like,
God, that look was
Lazy Susan is a fucking genius. And when she
yeah.
came down the runway, I got the Lee Bowery reference right away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was definitely giving very New York Club kid. You could tell Michelle really appreciated it. Um, I love these types of looks. The fact that she painted her face to kind of match the fabric was so good.
Bitch, can we talk about the lettuce in the bag? Like, it was fucking lettuce in the bag. Like,
Was it?
yes,
I honestly I was so distracted by the actual outfit and her face that I
bitch,
did not pay attention.
she had groceries in the bag that was purple.
I I did not pay attention to that because
Like,
I was so like in like amazed by her face and the
that's
actual
the
like outfit
genius.
itself.
Lazy Susan had purple lettuce. Like, she had
I need to
groceries
go
that
back
she
that.
painted purple, and they were
I
in the
need to go
bag.
back and watch it. I need to go back and
Like,
watch it because I missed that detail.
genius. And they was like, florals for spring,
Groundbreaking.
groundbreaking,
I love me.
everything.
I love me a Devil Wears Prada reference.
Like,
So on the extent that I gagged.
like such an iconic line from such an iconic movie. Like all the gays, obviously we knew it right away when they said florals for spring, and that pause, groundbreaking. That was everything. It
Yeah.
was so good,
And if you don't know the reference, maybe you should get your gay card revoked.
literally. Like if you don't know the Devil's Wear Prada reference, then like yeah, you can't sit with
No,
us.
ma'am.
It really is a
No,
no,
ma'am.
ma'am. You can't sit with us.
Yeah.
Then we had who was it? Nikita versus Vibe, and honestly, I liked both orange looks.
Yeah, I think as a pair, I think they were the second best. Um,
Yes, I thought they both
no,
like both looks showed off the queen's individual personalities.
hmm I was not expecting like the way Nikita had described her look before going onto the runway. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a basic swimsuit. I'm gonna hate this. Was it my favorite look of the night when she came out? No, I think
Mm,
there were way better looks. but
Okay.
I thought it exceeded my expectations. Um, I thought Vibe was more my style, and like I preferred Vibe and would have given it to Vibe.
Okay.
But Nikita's
I
was
like
cute.
Nikita's. Nikita got my tens. First of all, Nikita literally had probably one of the best nude illusions to me, in my opinion, that I've seen on this on the Drag Race stage.
I mean, yeah, I just thought it was like, um, I don't know, it wasn't anything
It was cunty.
that re
Like it was
yeah, it
woman. Like
was
she was giving
it,
Vumana. Like,
yes, but I think when it came down, like if you put them up with the other looks, it wasn't up there for me.
mm,
Um,
okay.
and I'm more of a campy kind of person, so vibes like two oranges. I
But
loved.
but don't get me wrong, like Vibe was great. She made her waist with two fucking orange slices. Like she gave herself a waist. Like it was cinch. Like who the fuck
Yeah.
does that? See, that is the vibe like
Hmm.
that I was looking for in the first part of the challenge. But she wanted to give me the dilapidated rosebud, and I was like, what the fuck?
Not the dilapidated rosebud.
Like it wasn't even a cute rosebud. Like, come on out. Just saying. And if you get it, if you know, you know. But like literally, like, no.
If you don't know, do not Google it.
Please don't. It's not okay. Um
Just ignorance is bliss, sweeties.
literally. So obviously the results, Mandy versus Lucina, the judges give it to Mandy. Makes sense, hands down. Amazing choice. For Brenda versus Karna, the judges go with Jhoany. They pick Brenda. I would have picked Karna, like no shade. Um, but they did
I
read
no,
Karna for that fucking headpiece. Didn't make any
girl.
sense.
It looked like an elementary school kid's project. Like,
It was
no,
bad.
ma'am.
Freya versus Max. I think it still was a tie.
Uh, I think Freya had one more vote.
You think so? No, I don't think so.
So
I think
so
because
no,
Michelle
because
said Freya,
ISIS said
said
neither.
both of them.
Well, so neither. Because I think it was. I
They
understand
both
why
got
she
one point.
said. Well, yeah, I. But then the other two said Freya, didn't they? Or one said Freya,
No.
one said Max.
One said
One
Freya,
said
one
Freya.
said Max.
Yeah, so that's two single Freyas, one single Max.
Okay, so if you want to do that, then Freya got it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought the
Because
tie counted as
I just
both.
didn't count ISIS's because, like she said, both. But
Okay.
I understand why she did it. I
No,
still think it was a cop out.
I think it's a cop out. Like I
It
no.
was no, it was definitely a cop out. I understand why she did it because had she said ISIS, everyone would have said, "Oh, that's because that's your daughter."
How she said Max.
Had sorry, had she yes, had ISIS said Max, my bad.
Yeah.
Everybody would have dragged her and would have been like, "Oh, that's because that's your daughter and that's why you chose her." Had she said Freya, everybody would have been like, "Well, why didn't you pick your daughter?" So I thought she
Yes.
was kind of stuck in like a lose-lose situation. So I think it was the best way for her to like anger the least amount of people.
But I
It
thought
was a
if
cop
she
out.
would have said Freya and would have given critique, it would have showed that she was not biased. And she would have been like, even though this is my drag daughter, I'm still the judge, and her look wasn't up to par. But
To
I get why
yeah,
she would do it, but that's kind of like if that was my drag daughter, I would drag the shit out of her.
I mean, same. I mean,
So,
same.
but I understand why Isis did it. I give her a lot of credit. If she's in a, she's between a rock and a hard place. That is your drag daughter, so you need to make sure that you have the objectivity at the same time. But you can't pick favorites, right? And you can't show favoritism. So it's that fine balance. It's the first
Yeah.
episode, so I give her a pass for
Hmm.
that. Obviously, between Olivia and Lazy Susan, the judges hands down pick Lazy Susan. Smart choice. Like there was no like
I mean,
question
come on,
about that.
look at the material.
Between Vibe and Nikita, if I'm not mistaken, I think
That
they
was
chose. I thought they chose Vibe.
no, that was a tie.
Was it really a tie?
What was that? Did I do that?
Yeah, you do that. You pull the Bob the drag queen when you do the peace sign or something. I guess if like if you're in Zoom or
No, I want
something,
to do it again. What the hell?
the
Oh,
balloons come up.
I didn't know
And I
that
think
was
if
the
you do like
thing.
two peace signs, then like fireworks happen.
Huh. Now I'm trying to make it happen. But anyway, what were we saying?
I don't,
No,
I think
I think
Vibe
it was a
got it.
tie. No, I think it was a tie. I think that one was like the only like true like where it was like 2-2.
Well, listen, if you watch Drag Race Down Under, that's the first episode. Somebody comment below and let us know if it was a tie or Vibe or Nikita got it. In my opinion, I think they gave it to Vibe, even though they were more on Nikita's side. But I think they gave it to Vibe.
I mean, I would have given it to. I mean, I said it. I think Vibe did better, and the kids was cute, but I would
Yeah.
have definitely leaned more towards Vibe.
Okay.
Um,
And then
can
obviously
we
Lazy Susan ends up winning the challenge.
can we talk about the critiques real quick? About the way the girls gave the critiques, and by that I'm particularly talking about Sasha and Isis.
Hmm.
I thought they did really well as judges. I thought they gave warranted critiques.
Okay.
I like them, and I would want them to stick around. Obviously, for Sasha, it was just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Isis is going to be like a revolving judge, kind of
Like Ross Matthews and like
like
Carson
Ross
Kressley.
Matthews and like T.S. Madison. Yeah, like where they just switch them around. I hope she is. But I hope she sticks around. That
But she's if you look
if
at the trailer for the next episode, she's there too. So I think she
oh
may be
okay
the permanent judge. Um and that the other drag queens may be the rotations.
okay I see that. So then in that case, this bitch needs to like toughen up and give her daughter the critiques.
She does. She really
Like let her
does.
have it,
Hmm.
because girl, yes, that's your daughter and everything, but like I hope she has it in her to like drag her in front of everyone.
Yes. But yes, I agree. I thought the critiques from both Isis and Sasha, I thought they did a really great job with ensuring that the queens understood that they were judging the drag based on the prompt, not them as a person. There was no like, it wasn't personal, and I think that's great. And so, obviously, coming from two like well-respected drag queens makes a lot of sense because it's like your
I,
peers like giving you critiques.
I also love the Sasha's question to Karna, like, is this a cultural thing?
Yeah,
And she's like, no, it's Stranger Things. She's like, oh, okay.
we love that.
Like I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, which makes sense, right? Because you don't want to like obviously disrespect someone's culture if it's
And
like
it
significance for them. So yeah,
and it would be Sasha to say that.
yeah, because she gets it. When it's right, it's
Yeah,
right. So,
yeah.
but yes, like I said, Lazy Susan is the one that she ends up winning the challenge, and she wins $3,000. Isis's face was like, "What?" I thought that was cute because it was like face crack, like what? Um,
It was giving Blue Hydrangea when she found out that UK versus the World 2 had a prize,
yeah,
had
it was
prize
very
money,
much
and she
that.
was like,
She's like, "What?"
"What?"
So cute. That was cute. And then the bottom two end up being Lucina Innocence and Carnivore.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay. No, actually, mm,
Who
I
would you
would
put in
have
the bottom
Olivia Dreams
above who?
above. No, I would have put Lucina Innocence above Olivia Dreams.
So you would have saved Lucina.
Yes.
No,
I don't know. I just okay. I don't know.
no.
I wasn't a fan of the looks.
And you were no. It was she gave. I
Oh, I would have
thought her
put
looks
both of them
were,
in the bottom.
and you would have said Karna.
Yeah,
Karna, not Karna, girl.
not
Um,
Klarna. Not the pay
no.
now, pay later thing. Like, oh my
I
gosh.
have a feeling this is gonna happen a lot throughout the season with me specifically, and
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
gosh.
girl. A
Fuck her
million
name.
apologies
Like,
in advance. But it's just gonna slip out. But no, I think Karna definitely deserved the bottom position, and I think I forgot her name again.
Lucina.
Lucina deserved to be right there with her.
Okay,
I thought it
all
was
right.
very warranted.
But they end up now I can't say lip syncing. They end up lip singing to Rush by Troye
I
Sivan.
was not expecting that.
Um,
I get like I
no shade, but I was underwhelmed.
oh same, fully same. I just don't think it's the best lip sync song. it's a great song to dance to and to party to in the club when you're like shit faced and surrounded by a bunch of like half naked men. Is it a great lip sync song? Not really.
No. But apparently they both end up staying. Do you agree?
I thought it. No, no. I think Lucina, based off the lip sync and the challenge, I think Lucina should have gone home.
I agree. I think Lucina should have gone home. But what
I think they should have.
I don't like when they waste a double Shantae on the first episode.
I was just about to say that, or if they are, it should be like a lip sync for the win, not a bottom two.
Yeah. Because what
Um,
happens historically, because we've seen a lot of these seasons, is that mid-season we're going to get an amazing lip sync where two queens deserve to stay, but because they already used the double Shantae, now one of
hmm
those queens has to go home.
yeah,
It
I
literally
hate
happens all
like
the time.
it, and I feel like it's gonna happen this season.
Yes. It's gonna be an amazing lip sync, and two of those queens are gonna do an amazing job. We're gonna be like, right? It's gonna be gag worthy. And then because they already used it, because they're never gonna do two double Shantaes in a season, hardly ever.
It's how they did
They did.
season one.
And,
They had like three double saves. If I'm not mistaken, they
mm,
did not start eliminating girls till like episode three.
choices. Um,
Choices, girl.
choices. Yes.
Choices. That scene was full of. That season was like just
It-
choices
that season
galore.
was a choice. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Um,
speaking of a season as a choice, I'm really excited for this season.
I am too.
I think this season is bringing it. I'm really
I
excited.
think so. I think so far, yes. I've never, you know this. I've never been the biggest fan of Down Under.
Hmm.
Um, but I really like this episode. I'm
Okay.
living for the drama. I
Yes.
hope the queens keep bringing it, and I hope the fights get bigger and better because I live for drama.
I live for the drama.
But I also hope if it does get very dramatic and these girls are letting each other have it, fans, please don't freak out. Like,
Oh my gosh,
don't come for the
yes.
girls. Don't send death threats. Like, that is so unwarranted.
It
They're
is.
drag queens. They're making TV. Like, they get
This
over it
is
right
a
after it
TV show.
happens.
Yes, and
Thank you.
I think the drag race fans need to realize, right, that there is a double standard. You cannot like drag the non-white queens, right, all the
Mm,
time for being, right, the drama. And then the innocent white queen is now the victim, right? I think that needs to stop because like it just needs the double standard with the queens. They just need to get over it.
I agree.
Um, but who do you think is going to win?
Lazy Susan.
I agree.
Lazy
I think
Susan.
my top two currently right now it is Mandy Moves and Lazy Susan.
Okay. I want to say Lazy Susan, Max.
Okay, Max would be my top
Yeah.
three. Like
Matt,
that's my
that's what I
top
was gonna
three.
say about Mandy Moves. Mandy Moves is like my top three. Um, and like to round up my top four would be Vibe. I love Vibe.
You know, honestly, my top four would have either been Freya or Vibe.
Okay, Freya would have been like my top. If we're really into top five for me would be Freya.
Yes, so we have the same like top
Top
five.
five,
We just have
yeah,
the order is different.
yeah, and who knows? Like throughout the season, it's probably gonna change
Right.
as more episodes go on.
Yeah.
But I think the one queen we can agree on that we want to win and we're rooting for is Lazy Susan.
Lazy Susan, yes.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it's so funny. Obviously, Lazy Susan is gonna be my number one. But like I was interchangeable between her and Mandy Moves this episode. Like between the Meet the Queens and the first episode, those two, they to me were the two standouts. As
So
much as I
from
love Max drag queen, like I'm not taking anything away from her, but I just thought that from this episode in particular, they just gave me more.
So, from the Meet the Queens, I thought I would have liked Mandy Moves more than I ended up liking her after the first episode. Not that I dislike her, not that there's
Okay,
anything wrong with her, but between the Meet the Queens and the first episode, I think Max just kind of went like slightly up for me,
okay,
and overtook Mandy
got
for
it.
me from
Listen,
the first episode alone.
listen, all these right. Again, it's the first episode. Things could change. I'm excited for this season of Drag Race Down Under. I'm excited to to see the fresh like perspective that Michelle is going to bring to this. I think Michelle is going to do an amazing job as the judge. So super excited for that. But I mean, there you have it. That was
Yeah.
another episode of No Ma'am.
God, we really spoke a lot this episode.
We did. We are we're
I,
real podcasters now, y'all. We're like in
I
it.
kind of I lost track of time, and now I look at them, bitch. We've been going at this for over an hour.
We are in it.
Um,
Yes, we're in it. So we just gave y'all a treat, okay? But again, right, as always, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am. And if you're listening to us on any of those podcasting platforms, rate us 5 stars. It means a lot, especially as a new podcast coming up. It
yes,
means a lot that
please.
we have 5 stars. So please rate us. And remember,
I can't.
we'll have you saying No Ma'am in no time. Bye.
Pieces.